And hello and welcome. This is Boles.tv. BOLES.tv. I'm David Boles, and we are live as we try to appear Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And today at 10:15, Jana Marie will be joining us for a hardcore ASL lesson. American Sign Language lesson in celebrations. That will be fun and interesting and very important. So a lot of things going on in the news, and we're going to start where we always like to start. Right here with the price of Ethereum. Excuse me, 9 o'clock, being hotboxed by my neighbor. Nothing new. Saying it's 2,600. It's been up as high as 2,656 and low. So it's been bouncing up and down. It's the war. It's really what's causing this to bounce like this, the war in the Ukraine. Our gas fees are also very interesting. $9, $10. Now that's unbeatable for Ethereum. So if you're thinking about buying some NFT artwork or buying some Ethereum or Bitcoin, now is the time to do it. The price is right. And if you want to buy something that takes gas, you can't beat $10. $10, that's the way to go. Now I noticed something interesting yesterday and this morning on my OpenSea account. And it's this. Excuse me. As you can see, we have collected, we have created, we have favorited, and we have hidden. And I thought, what is hidden? And hidden 3? What does that mean? So I clicked on it. And it looks like people can just send you NFTs without you buying them. And I guess they're paying the gas? Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Being burned out. And I'm not exactly sure what this means. And as you can see, there are 3 hidden, but only 2 showing. Now, the one that is not showing, I don't know if that's something that was illegal. It isn't any. I don't have anything to do with this page. But I guess that people, because your Ethereum wallet is public knowledge, that they can just go and decide to gift you an NFT. And it goes into your account. But what I like about OpenSea is they don't put it in your collection, which you have curated and which are things you want to see and be associated with. They put it in hidden. And then I guess if you click on one of these buttons, you can unhide it, which I guess puts it in your collection. I'm not going to unhide it. You can make it your profile picture. You can transfer it to somebody. So if you don't want it, you can transfer it to just a burn address and it will just disappear. You can copy the link, or you can, I guess, try to sell it. And then you click on it. Valkyrie number 15. I don't know what this means. I don't know who these people are. I don't know why it was sent to me. So of this image, there are currently 110 owners. There are 1,000 of these available, and I own one. The price, if you were buying this on the open market, and it wasn't just given to you, would be $190. So I guess you could say they gave me $190, but I don't know what to do with it. This isn't really my style. I appreciate a gift, but I sort of like that it's hidden. You can buy now. You can buy with a card. I don't know what that means. That's interesting. What is that? I don't know. I don't want to click on it because something might happen. You can make an offer. And here's the history of that piece of art. I don't know. I guess somebody thought that I was into Valkyries. And this one makes slightly more sense because we have the Ukraine NFT that we've been promoting. A couple of them, one from Sabet, one from a new author, from a new artist that we discovered. Who was established? I didn't discover him. I discovered that the artist was alive, is what I mean. And so this one has been favorited 162 times by other people, and then you click on it. Ukraine, help for the victims of war. This is number 9. It's the Ukraine flag with a heart in the middle of it. Okay. This price, I guess, if you were to buy this on the open market, is $4.80. So I own one of them. But I don't know what any of this means. And then you can click on who sent this to you. And then you can see their entire collection. Support for victims of the war, help the victims of the war. And I guess they're hoping that I will unhide this and put it in my collection. And then they can raise more money? Now, some people might say this is just war profiteering if you're actually not sending the money to Ukraine. And this one, when you go to their webpage on OpenSea, Valkyrie's Deep Verse, they're selling 92 items, 15,000 owners, with a floor price of 0.002. And here are the other Valkyries, I guess. Which is fine. It's if that's your thing. I don't know how they found me. I don't know what they expect me to do with it. But I guess I thank them for the gift, but I don't know. So what's my thing? I'll show you. Some very nice pieces added to the collection lately. Here's a new Sabet, which I find hilarious. It's his take on the Bored Apes with the laser eyes. And this is a lovely new piece by Wes Henry. Look at that. This is a limited edition. And of course I printed it out because it's so beautiful. It's called Zen something. Zen Me. I don't know. But it's quite beautiful, right? Makes a great avatar. It really does. Makes a wonderful avatar. If you're into that kind of thing. And then here's the other Wes Henry that is totally different. And he does dark, scary skulls and menacing people. And he does something which is 3 birds. Which is just beautiful and completely delightful. You want to say, Wes, 2 more birds. Really, really interesting, functional artwork. Just terrific stuff. And here, this is what Wes Henry's OpenSea webpage looks like. We've been there before, and we'll probably go there again and again and again and again. See, this is the stuff. It's very dark, scary. Jenna did a whole sign language tutorial on how to describe this sort of artwork. And it's dark and menacing. And then he does these beautiful 3 little birds. And look at that. Look at this. A teapot. Very lovely. And this is his collaboration with Sabet. Sabet did the collaboration with Bored Apes. And this is the Wes Sabet collaboration. I have a feeling that Wes did the skull and Sabet did the decoration. But That's fun too. That's a good mix-up, mash-up of two gigantic talents. So there you go, NFT mysteries unfolding and being shared. I have no idea what any of this means, but when your stuff is hidden, it's just a little weird, I tell you. So if you're on OpenSea, go look in your hidden area and see what's there. I'm dying to know what the third thing is, but I can't seem to find it. It will not reveal itself to me. I don't know why. Is it a bundle? No, it's not a bundle. But something's there. I just didn't put it there. Now this is a silly and fun game called Slither.io. And the purpose of the game is to eat things as, I guess, a worm. And you eat as many sparkly, glowy things as you can find. But you can't run into another worm, because then you explode. And you can change your skin. You can have a skin like this, or like that. That's kind of interesting. That might make other people bump into me. We'll go with that skin, but here are some of the other skins. The British flag, very cute. Ross, that's sort of applicable, unfortunately, today. So let's see if I can find that multicolored one again. I've only played this game 2 times, so I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm not very good at it. But I will play again and show you, and we'll play it together. Excuse me, and we'll see what happens. So here I am eating things, right? You use your mouse cursor thing, and that's what it follows. And see, there are other worms there, and there's a big worm. You don't want to go into a big worm. And every time you eat something, you get a little bit bigger. And you cannot eat other worms. You have to eat your own worms. So when the small worms start bumping into the big worms, and then you can click your mouse and go really fast, like that worm was doing. So you can really get big a lot faster. But there's the danger. You're gonna run into somebody, and that's no fun. Because then what are you gonna do? Wow, it's getting very complicated. Run for your life. Run for your... there's a big one. Oh, see, there's one that's black. There's a black worm, so it fits in really well. Fits in really, really well. Oh, and there's another one that just fits in. Oh my gosh, that's a giant worm. And I'm just a little tiny thing. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. How do I catch these? Oh, you got to go for the ones that are lighted, because they give you a superpower pack. Okay, I'll try that, I guess. I don't know. So if they're big and lighted, you want those. You know, not everything has to be about war or about NFTs. Sometimes you just play something silly to play something silly. So yeah, that one ran into me. Oh, that's not. Now can I eat all this? Oh, I can. Oh. So that's what you do. So if a worm runs into you, then you got to go back and eat that remains of that worm. Oh, they ran into me, so I got to go back and eat that. Oh, that's a good one. Oh. Oh, see, in chess, they call that a mouse slip. I was going too far. Lost focus. Went to my main thing. There's artist Dora. Good morning. What game are you playing? I understand what you mean. I painted a very silly painting last night. We are playing Slither.io. It's some kind of crazy worm game that reminds me of the Pipes screensaver of Windows of yore, which you may remember if you were alive in 1995 and using computers. So I'll play this again because I really messed that up. Oh, I got greedy with the with the worm that bumped into me. So I guess if you're being cunning, you want to fake out the other worms to bump into you. I just did it again. To bump into you, so you can then eat their remains. Oh, see here, somebody just died. Oh, I gotta get out of there though. Oh no! Oh, there's so many more worms now. There were so many more worms than when I started 5 minutes ago. And I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of this game is. I guess it's just to frustrate you and to hurt your wrist from all the clicking you're doing, trying to speed up your worm. I'm not growing very fast. You have to get one of those brightly colored things to really get bigger. And I'm not getting bigger at all. I have no energy. There are no lights left. Oh, there's one. Oh, gotta see if you can get that. Then you grow really fast, really big. But I'm sure everyone else is trying to get it too, right? That's the problem. I can't even catch up with it. If you click your mouse, you're supposed to be able to go faster, but I'm not going any faster. So I'm following. And it's getting farther away. I'll never catch it, I guess, right? Oh, and what's this down here? Well, this is, I guess, some kind of radar grid showing you where all the good things to eat are hiding. So it's probably good when you're small like this, and you want to get bigger, is to stay away from all the others. So you can just feed around yourself and get longer and bigger and stronger. Because I was in a very bad area where there were a lot of very giant, huge worms. And I was not doing well. And now I'm doing a little better because I have all of these all to myself, at least for now. But I don't seem to be getting much bigger, so maybe I'm not challenging myself. I don't know. I don't really understand how the game works. There we go. That's a little bit bigger. Yeah, the bigger lighted ones you can get, I guess they make you grow faster. Yeah, so I guess if you're small, the first thing you want to do is look at the radar thing and go to a place that's not very full of other worms. So you can just eat on your own and not be bothered. And just get larger and larger and larger. And then you hope to bump into a bigger worm and you can eat their remains and get even bigger. But I guess if you're really small, you can go and challenge the larger worms to see if you can maybe use them to make yourself get bigger and grow. Because they can't maneuver, I don't think, as quickly as a smaller worm. However, a longer, bigger worm is harder to avoid, which means that if they bump into you, then you can eat their remains because they messed up. Oh no, now somebody's in my area. And they're very long. Oh no. Oh no, oh no! Yeah, I don't know how these people are able to do this. Oh! Run away. Oh! Oh! Well, I'm lasting a lot longer, but I'm very short. I guess you have to continue to eat to maintain your length? I don't know. And somehow you get energized if you eat a lot. So maybe I need to go find out where all the people are so I can get bigger. Because I'm slowing down because I guess I don't have any energy. Now he's going to eat me. Well, that's Slither.io. It's fun. And it's a little frustrating, I'll be honest with you. So Meta, and we love to talk about Meta here, is doing the right thing or doing the wrong thing? That's the question we have today, and the answer appears to be we don't really know. Adjusting my camera. That's what's hard with this setup because sometimes it's good, and I had to change the cable on my camera. So if you just touch the camera, it moves like this much, and then you're all out of sequence. You're out of frame. So Meta, that's the Facebook universe, is temporarily allowing calls for violence against invading Russians. According to internal emails obtained by Reuters, Instagram and Facebook users in some countries will be permitted to call for violence against Russians, Russian soldiers, and political figures in the context of the invasion of Ukraine. In light of the country's invasion of Ukraine, users in countries including Russia, Ukraine, and Poland will be allowed to call for death to Russian President Vladimir Putin or Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko. And it was on the news that now Belarus is flying military planes out of Belarus and into Ukraine. So it's now a two-front war with Belarus and Ukraine against Ukraine. Belarus and Russia against Ukraine. And that's outrageous. But nobody's doing anything about it that we know about. Posts espousing the president's death, Putin's death, will be allowed, unless they include other targets or have indicators of credibility, such as location or method, Reuters explained. The decision marks temporary change to Meta's hate speech policy, which traditionally has barred threats of violence and other content that has potential to silence others or cause harm. Now, it's interesting and it's two-faced and duplicitous, but you want to say, good, finally, for Facebook, they're doing the right thing. They let the Russians help Trump steal the election in 2016, and they didn't do anything about it. They just ate and got fat on all that advertising revenue from the Russians who were promoting Donald Trump. And so, talk about wars, right? Russia moves to declare Meta an extremist organization because of what they just did, which would lead to all of its services being cut off in Russia. Russia's prosecutor general office asked Meta to be labeled as an extremist organization because they can call for the killing of Putin if you're in a proper country. This would mean all Meta services, including Instagram and WhatsApp, would be cut off in Russia. Russia blocked Facebook last week. Now, if you want your citizenry to be furious with you, cut them off from the internet. They can't use Facebook. They can't connect with their friends. They can't post pictures on Instagram. Just dump. They're going to find out when they lose access, and then they're going to know something's up, because right now a lot of Russians don't have any idea, if you can believe it, that they're at war with Ukraine. They have no clue. Russia wants to legally brand Facebook's parent company Meta an extremist organization. Haas also said the prosecutor general asked for an investigation into whether Meta broke laws on terrorist propaganda and inciting hatred. This marks further escalation of tensions between the Kremlin and the U.S. tech giant, which has been building since Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. of Ukraine. So there you go. You can do whatever you want to do. If you're Mark Zuckerberg or Vladimir Putin, support each other, do things that the rest of the world is disgusted by, but when it comes to war, then we're going to go at each other now. You tell people to kill me, I'm going to cut you off. And by cutting you off, I'm cutting off my nose to spite my face for all of my citizens in Russia who will now be disconnected and unable to communicate with the world and their loved ones because of my behavior. And Dora says that's why I don't play games, carpal tunnel syndrome, etc. That's exactly right. My wrist is a little sore from playing Slither.io because you're not always only moving the mouse, you are clicking the mouse as often as you can to try to get the worm to go faster. But I haven't figured out what makes the worm go faster, so I'm just randomly clipping. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. We're going to take our very brief and first blood pressure break of the day. We will be back momentarily. And we're back here on Bowles TV, BOLES.TV. I'm David Bowles. Wonderful to be here. And we've been talking about crypto and NFT all week. And one part of this whole Russia-Ukraine thing that has been a little bit underreported, but is very interesting, is this. Russia is very big on chess. They have a long and storied history of fabulous and fantastic chess champions. From Karpov to Kasparov to a list of geniuses. And chess is important to the culture and the facility of the Russian people. And Putin himself is a chess fanatic. And there has been a very quick and rapid response to ban Russia and Russian players who support Putin from playing in chess tournaments, especially FIDE, which is the main organizing umbrella organization for professional chess. So Russia dominated chess for half a century. The game's organizing body, FIDE, has banned tournaments in the country. They were going to have a world chess championship in Moscow. And they moved it. They said, we're not doing it there. Out. And they said it probably cost FIDE to do this big event with sponsorships and coordination, moving into another country, $10 million just to move it. So they're serious about this, FIDE. And this is the article about what is happening. For half the 20th century, Soviet and Russian players dominated chess, winning all but one World Chess Championship, the game's most prestigious tournament. During the Soviet era, grandmasters like Garry Kasparov and Anatoly Karpov were treated as celebrities. And they still are, in Russia and in the world, because they're that popular. Even today, Russia boasts 239 grandmasters. By far the most of any country. And what they do is when you're young and you're a kid, and if you show you have some talent in something, then let's say it's gymnastics or ice dancing or chess, they take you and they put you into a special school, a chess school, and you compete against each other. And those who are bright and shining and winning continue, and those who are not go to a different school. And you move up, and you become a chess grandmaster, a player of chess in Russia as a child. And this is what happened. The international organizing chess body, FIDE, dealt a blow to Russia, where the game has been historically ingrained in the country's national identity. In response to the invasion of Ukraine, the International Chess Federation on Sunday pulled tournaments from Russia and Belarus, a move that experts described as historic. And it is historic. I can't think of another time where something like this, that seems like an intangible, that goes to the very heart and soul of the Russian people, happened so quickly. FIDE expresses its grave concern about the military action started by Russia in Ukraine. The organization, using its French acronym, FIDE, said in a statement, FIDE stands united against wars, as well as condemns any use of military means to resolve political ends. January to the rescue. I just spilled all over myself. In addition to pulling the tournaments, including the prestigious Chess Olympiad, FIDE also said that Russian and Belarus players will not be allowed to display their flags in tournaments, and that the Federation will terminate all sponsorship deals it holds with Russian and Belarusian state-owned enterprises. Big. It also said that 2 Russian players who publicly voiced support for the invasion could face discipline, and they did. We felt quite strongly that we had to take action, Nigel Short, a FIDE vice president, British Prime Minister, told the Washington Post. This is a naked act of aggression against a sovereign country, and it involves 2 very important chess nations, Russia and Ukraine. I mean, they are the 2 strongest chess nations in the world. Which brings us to the event of Sergei Karjakin, who was once the youngest chess grandmaster in the history of the game. And for about 20 years, he held that prestigious title and role of being the youngest ever grandmaster. And he was celebrated in Russia for it, and he's a good friend of Putin. Sergei Karjakin has infuriated the chess world through his recent controversial comments on social media supporting Russian President Vladimir Putin and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Grandmaster is also facing an ethics case brought by FIDE and risks suspension from tournament play. Organizers in London say the Russian 32-year-old is no longer welcome in their tournaments. And that's Karjakin. The former World Championship challenger, currently ranked 18th in the world, is facing an ethics case after being accused of bringing the game into disrepute for his outbursts on social media since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The comments have led to an ethics case with FIDE, stating they condemn any public statement from any member of the chess community which supports unjustified military action. And Karjakin is wholly behind the invasion. And then FIDE banned him. And then he turned around and started bad-mouthing FIDE. This is not going to go well for him, I can tell you right now. Sergei Karjakin's tweet showing him in Dubai. He's not in Ukraine, he's not in Russia, he's safe in Dubai. Showing him with boxing gloves, and the caption, it's a Russian caption, but translated says, celebrating the first day of spring, a Russian spring. And he provoked universal derision with some suggestion he traveled to Ukraine, where former world heavyweight boxing champion Vitaly Klitschko is mayor of Kyiv. So there's Karjakin. Tough guy, wants to box. Fully supporting Putin. Grandmaster responded, Sergey, we've been acquainted for 24 years. We've always had a normal relationship. But you have, unfortunately, turned into a clown. And you're supporting the death of your own brother Slavs. You're writing offensive posts at the same time as our colleagues are spending yet another day in bomb shelters. Many chess players, my colleagues, have been left without a home. I pity you. So this is very interesting because what this is going to mean for Karjakin is they're not going to probably, the chess world, the chess community, they're not going to ban him because that would look bad. What they're going to do is shadow ban him. And if you want to know what that is, you can go to humanmeme.com and search my podcast episode for shadow banning. And shadow banning is that they're just not going to invite him to play in tournaments. So his support for Putin, bloody Putin, is going to result in Sergei Karjakin losing his income and his life in chess. Which to me is absolutely appropriate for how he's behaving, because he's been told to please be quiet, be respectful, and he is pushing back and being disrespectful. And maybe it's all because Putin's making him do it, I don't know. But sometimes you have to stand up and do the right thing. This is what's going to happen if they decide to sanction them, if FIDE sanctions them. And this is not, FIDE runs some chess tournaments and other people run other chess tournaments. And the way you play in these chess tournaments for the prize money is you get invited. And he's just not going to be invited. He's going to be a persona non grata. According to rules, the committee can take the following actions if they find that they have violated the terms of their agreement as a chess player under the FIDE banner. They get a warning, a reprimand, return of awards, fine up to $25,000, a revocation of titles and sports results, ban up to 15 years taking part in chess competition or in any chess-related activity as a player, arbiter, organizer, or representative, temporary exclusion from membership or office. And here's how Chess.com reports what's going on in Ukraine. On Thursday, February 24, 19-year-old GM Kirill Shevchenko and his family woke up from the sounds of numerous explosions not far from them. They took their documents and went to the basement, where they stayed all day and tried to follow the news. The next day, fragments of rocket hit a neighbor's house 500 meters away, opposite of the school of Kirill's 11-year-old brother. The family had to go back into shelter again, and then decided to leave Kyiv. That Thursday morning, now exactly 2 weeks ago, changed the lives of all the Ukrainians. A full-fledged invasion of the Russian army had started, with the shelling of several cities simultaneously, while the war is still raging on with multiple negotiations between Ukrainian and Russian officials failing to sort any effect. So it's a sad thing. And there is a chess player who streams online, and his name is Alexander Bortnik, and he's very good. He's a grandmaster. I believe he's in Florida right now, but his family is in Ukraine, and he is having trouble staying in touch with them. They can't get in touch with him, so he streams, and chess fans go on Twitch and watch his stream, and they buy subscriptions. And you can buy a subscription for yourself, or you can gift subscriptions to other people. And the streamer gets half that money. And people have been going on to Portnik's stream and gifting subs to other people, 200 subs at a time. And that's a lot of money. 200 times $5 is a lot of money for someone to donate. But that is one way that people are getting money to people in Ukraine who need it through interesting ways that are not cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. So by giving him money on Twitch, he then has the money and he can send it back home to Ukraine. I think it's a genius idea. I love it. And here's another Ukrainian chess player who echoes the call for all Russian players to be banned. Chess great Vasily Ivanchuk has now made his position clear on the war in Ukraine by echoing demands for a blanket ban on all Russian players and the resignation of FIDE President Arkady Dvorkovich. The 52-year-old Ukrainian, nicknamed Chucky, put his name to a joint letter featuring his country's top grandmasters that repeated a series of calls for a more hardline approach. Until now, Ivanchuk yesterday had not publicly indicated his thoughts on the invasion of his country, and that's very difficult. And I've seen him do chess commentary, and he's very funny and very smart. And he has a very fun way of speaking. Not just his accent, but the way he phrases things. The Ukrainian Chess Federation has been desperate to apply maximum pressure on both the European Chess Federation and FIDE, and so enlisted one of their country's greatest ever players to speak out. Ivanchuk, a former world number 2 and world champion in blitz and rapid chess, joins former FIDE world chess champion Russian Ruslan Pomeratov, two-time Ukrainian champion Andrei Volkovkin, and Ukraine's current number 1 Anton Korbarov in calling for the ban. So it's tightening all around Putin. And Garry Kasparov is a wonderful, great chess grandmaster. And he is anti-Putin 100% all the way from top to bottom. And Garry has not been shy about talking about the war and Putin. Here's his tweet from yesterday. The Hague is too good for the likes of Putin and Lavrov. They should be forced to walk through the ruins of Mariupol and Kharkiv with the survivors there to welcome them, meaning that they would be torn apart, physically torn apart. And here are some of the replies to that tweet. Sure, we can negotiate, but before you go, remember this movie? Glorious Bastards, where they carved the Z on the traitor's forehead so it could never be disguised. Well, it was a swastika in the movie, but now it's a Z because for some reason the Russians are using a Z to promote this, and the Z is not even in their alphabet. I don't understand the meaning of the Z. So Garry has been very, very vocal about getting rid of Putin and how the only way out of this is to replace his leadership in Russia, because otherwise Putin is never going to give it up. He's not going to stop. He doesn't care how he wins. The only thing he cares about is not losing. And I don't know how you can negotiate this with Ukraine and Russia. What are you negotiating? If you're Ukraine, you say, look, you invaded us. Get out. That's the negotiation. And Russia says, well, we'll leave, but you have to give us this, and you have to promise never to go into NATO. And who are you to demand of me? You came on my turf. You bothered my family. You killed my friends. I didn't come after you. And the interest grows deeper. The Russian government sites have been hacked in a supply chain attack. Russia says some of its federal agencies' websites were compromised in a supply chain attack on Tuesday after unknown attackers hacked the stats widget used to track the number of visitors by multiple government agencies. The list of sites impacted in the attack include websites of the Energy Ministry, the Federal State Statistics Service, the Federal Penitentiary Service, the Federal Bailiff Service, and on and on. The incident was discovered Tuesday evening after attackers published their own content and blocked access to the websites. It's difficult to compromise these websites directly, so hackers attack resources through external services. To demonstrate incorrect content. After hacking the widget, hackers were able to publish incorrect content on the pages of websites. The incident was promptly localized. And here, we talked about it before, Sergei Karjakin putting on his boxing gloves. Maybe he'll face this man. Ukrainian boxer Vladimir Klitschko releases NFT collection to support a relief effort. Ukrainian boxing legend and two-time heavyweight world champ Vladimir Klitschko is releasing a collection of NFT tokens to support Ukraine's war effort. Proceeds from the collection will be donated to Red Cross Ukraine and UNICEF. The collection, titled Vandalas for Ukraine, was made in partnership with WIZME, and will be available to mint in a tiered pricing model of $100, $1,000, and $1,000. It's a magnificent initiative. It's support through the art and the service of people who suffer. Klitschko said in a statement, art can be beautiful on many levels when you're used to serve humanity. Heavyweight boxing legends Vitaly Klitschko, now Kyiv mayor, and Vladimir Klitschko post a video about not leaving Ukraine. Where should we go? This is our home. Our parents are buried here. Children go to school here. Where else? Why should we flee? Makes a lot of sense. And if you stay and fight, then Putin will destroy you. And if you run and leave, Putin will destroy what you leave behind. And that is why it is Putin and his ilk who need to be destroyed. The collection is one of numerous NFT-related projects that can be released in support of Ukraine in recent weeks. An NFT of Ukrainian flag sold for $6.75 million. We talked about that on March 2nd. And it's an incredible opportunity, Klitschko says, to be able to use my art and this emerging technology to help others in the world in need and provide relief to any location in the world. So all of these changes that are happening are really very interesting because they are pressuring Putin from all kinds of different sides. You have him being hit by the chess community. You have McDonald's withdrawing. You have major banks like J.P. Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs leaving and taking their 80 employees with them. And he's isolated and he needs money and he thinks he can keep this up. And it might be a 3-year war. But once he takes over, then what happens? He'll never be respected by the people of Ukraine. And you have to have people in Ukraine to work and play and get things done. You just can't go over and take over a barren land and there's no value left in it. And now it's time for our next blood pressure break. Back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles.tv, BOLES.T and a V, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern, right here for you. And now we're going to return to our conversation about what's going on with Russia and sanctions and the chess world and trying to save Ukraine. It's just a fascinating experience. And Russians, which is very interesting, turn to VPNs, virtual private networks, to stay connected with the outside world, which is very interesting, as online censorship tightens over Ukraine war. So a VPN hides from where you're coming from. So if you have a VPN and you're in Russia and you change it to make it look like you're coming out of Poland, then you might not be blocked. Almost 2 weeks into Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Russian authorities have already banned 200 websites, 300 foreign companies have pulled out of the country, and fears are growing that the government may move towards disconnecting Russia from the global internet. The Kremlin has cracked down on independent media by bringing in a new law making dissemination of false information punishable by 15 years in prison. To circumvent the censorship bearing down on the country, Russians are increasingly turning to VPNs, virtual private networks, to keep channels of communication open from Russia. from Russian interference. If a website is trying to block Russian traffic, you no longer appear to be Russian if you're using a VPN. It looks like you're coming from London or Paris or anywhere in the world. VPNs rose to the top of the App Store and Google Play in Russia last week as the government blocked social media sites. So that's how the people fight back against a government trying to coerce them into behaving in a way in which they do not want to behave. Chainalysis launches sanctions for screening tools for free of charge in the crypto industry. Now, this is also very interesting. Chainalysis, a blockchain data program, announced the accelerated launch of 2 sanctioned screening tools. An on-chain Oracle, available today as an API, expected to launch next month, for the cryptocurrency industry free of charge, as countries around the world continue to leverage economic sanctions in response to Russia's invasion. So what they're doing is they're saying, hey, okay, this is the blockchain. It's supposed to remain free and unfettered. But if you follow this solution we're providing you, you can stay in the sanctions realm by blocking known Russian crypto wallets. Now, that's not supposed to be the way the cryptocurrency works, but if you're an American company and the Biden administration said we have sanctions on Russia, you can't do business with them. And here it is, Chainalysis for sanctions screening. The Chainalysis Oracle is a smart contract that validates if a cryptocurrency wallet address has been included in a sanctions designation. The smart contract is maintained by Chainalysis on a variety of popular blockchains and will be regularly updated to reflect the latest sanctions designations listed on economic trade embargo lists from organizations including the US, the European Union, or the United Nations. The smart contract is available for anyone to use and does not require a customer relationship with Chainalysis, meaning anybody who does crypto business can use this information and block Russian exchanges. And here it is. This is code. It's all very complicated and complex, but here it is. I'll put the link in chat in case somebody wants to take a look at this. JavaScript, compatible networks. Currently, Chainalysis Oracle is available on the Ethereum network as well as the following EVM compatible networks. Click the links to view the chain analysis oracle on each network. And how we define sanctions data, so they're like not making it up, they're making this a very real thing. So here's the link to the chain analysis. There we go. And now it's time very soon for Jana Marie to come in here and let her lead us with her light as she teaches us a wonderful hardcore American Sign Language lesson in celebrations. It sounds wonderful. It is wonderful. It will be wonderful. And it's coming up next right here on Boles TV, BOLES.television. Back in a moment with Jana Marie. We are back from a brief break. Well, that was fun with Jana Marie, learning about celebrations and how we learn to recognize the accomplishments in others. It was just a wonderful, tremendous hardcore ASL lesson, as always, on Fridays at 10:15, right here on Bowls.tv. Oh, we finished up a wonderful week of being live with you every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Jana Marie is here on Saturdays and Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern, and she talks about fun facts, and American Sign Language, and all kinds of interesting topics. In the meantime, if you'd like to get in touch with me, you can email me, David, at bowls.tv. If you'd like to email Jana Marie, you can email her at jana@bowls.tv. You can find us on Twitter, super follow, now available, at David Bowles. And on Facebook, we're regular old Bowles, B-O-L-E-S. On Instagram, we are Bowles Books. On TikTok, we are Bowles TV. And if you'd like to join our Discord server, here's the fun and easy way to do that. Just follow this link and click on it, and you'll be in. So take care of yourself. I'm trying to think if we should ask the Magic 8 Ball something. I think we should, just for fun. We'll ask the Magic 8 Ball, will it rain tomorrow? Will it rain tomorrow? The outlook is not so good. Oh boy. That's a harbinger of truth that we perhaps didn't need on a Friday. Well, get ready to spring forward on Sunday. We're going to lose an hour of sleep. But much of the world is going to be on spring break if you're a kid, so that's a good thing. You can catch up on your sleep and you don't have to worry about being awake in class. So until Monday, for me, I will see you, and I hope you do well, sleep well, good morning, good evening, good night, have a nice nap, and I wish you joy and happiness in your soul. And I will see you again Monday, 9 a.m., right here. Take care.